Hello, I'm going to give you a quick overview of my new arcade cabinet. Put this together last weekend. I've been putting the finishing touches on the paint and the controls. What you see right now is the emulator front end called Emulation Station. I'm not sold on any particular front end yet. This is just one I've been configuring to test out. And presently I've got Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, Nintendo 64, Atari 2600, and Super Nintendo in there with all the cartridges, everything available to play. And this is the custom control panel and cabinet that I built to put together. So it's a 39-inch television LED, and it's mounted on an articulating mount, so you can pull it out, turn it, tilt it, twist it, whatever you want to do. We have a little storage area in the back for a keyboard and my controls, and two shelves that are going to be used to hold two Microsoft Xbox for Windows controllers that'll act like joysticks in the games. And I'm going to go ahead and move those off for showing you the inside of the control panel. But what you'll see, I've got buttons on the side that I use for pinball. There's two on the other side also. Standard two-player setup with 6 buttons each. Trackball with a left, middle, and right button above it. And one player start and money on the left side, along with an escape and a tab button that work inside of MAME quite nicely. Blue button over here is enter, and the purple is pause in the MAME. Yellow is not used. I have a green for money for player 2 and a 2-player button. These basically are used, you interface these through a keyboard encoder that's inside that actually turns the button press into the same thing as pressing a key on a keyboard. So, for example, when I take this stick and I move it up, it's the same as hitting the up arrow on my keyboard. So those 4 arrows are emulated by this joystick, up, down, left, and right. To get in to work on the controls, I wanted to have quick access, so we devised this method. We've got just drilled a hole and we've put a quick release pin in. So when I lift this up, you have access to the back of the control panel. So a little bit of a complicated wiring, but not too bad. Each switch gets one line running over to the keyboard encoder, and the white is a ground that runs through all the switches. This is the back of the joystick, what they look like. And that's the back of the trackball. Can't really see much, but this is the keyboard encoder. This is where everything, basically the brains of the control panel. Using this breakout board down here, I just wire each one into the breakout board. These are from a company called Hagstrom. That is the IO or IXO or IOX36 breakout board, and this is the KE-USB 108 keyboard encoder. So there are 108 inputs. All the controls that I have on this setup right now only use 36 inputs. You can see I have two more areas that I can put more controls in. Eventually I will, but right now I don't need them. This is just plugged into the computer with a standard USB cable. So give you a quick overview of what this works like, the emulation station. I'm going to use the gamepad. So I'm just going to press to the right and you'll see it goes to Atari. So forth. I'm going to hit A to select Atari, and this program Emulation Station goes out and scrapes all this data that you see, so it picks all the information up about the game, and all I'm going to do is hit A to select the game. So you get the original adventure game, and let's see if I can get that to go. So, yeah. You move around. So just like the old Atari 2600. Okay, and that's Emulation Station. The next one on here that we can look at. Let's see. Okay, the next one that this was really built for the most was MAME. I use MAMEUI because of some of the features that you'll see here shortly. You can see that, like for Miss Pac-Man, the game that comes up, you have the snapshot. You're also able to go out on the internet and find the flyers which show the original advertising for the game, the cabinet, what the game actually looked like, what the marquee at the top of the cabinet looked like, the title screen. If you want to know what the original control panel looked like, there's a snapshot. And one of the real interesting things is what the original circuit board looked like. That's what the inside of a Pac-Man cabinet used to run the game. So for MAME, when you run that, if I run Miss Pac-Man, you'll actually see the bezel, and you'll see what a Miss Pac-Man used to look like when you actually turned the power on. But it puts these bezels on the side that look just like the old cabinet used to have, so it has all this information on it. Again, some graphics you have to make sure you go find. So I'm going to hit one player, money, and start one player. Use my joystick. It is actually a clone, original or replication of the original game. So that is my cabinet, the games itself, and then down here on the bottom, it looks like a closed box, but it actually has another quick release that shows you how to get into the cabinet to get to the computer. And I have a 4 terabyte hard drive on the top with all of the ROMs in detail, or in software. Last thing you can show you here is that's the piano hinge that's under to hold the front. And we left a little vent there for hot air to come out from the computer.